Can you talk a little bit about, particularly in the last 3 weeks, the hypotheses and discussions about the origins of this virus have gone? I don't want to say that it's gone mainstream, but there's been significantly more discussion, including in places where we were not originally seeing it. My understanding of the spectrum of what is possible would be, on the one hand, this had nothing to do with any lab, even as a pit stop, all the way to this was designed as a bioweapon and deliberately released. I think it's important, no matter what we explore, to not claim something to be likely until we have reason to believe that it's likely. But what do you make of the change in that discussion over the last few weeks and sort of the state of that question?
Yeah, so let's talk about the science and where we are first on the science, and then I want to talk about the discussion.
Yeah.
So you actually really laid out the spectrum well. It could have just been a standard animal to human species jump, very common. It's how we get Ebola. It's how we got Zika. This is pretty much the most common way that we get novel infections. All the way to it was a bioweapon designed to cause a global epidemic. But so basically the way I look at it, bioweapon design, incredibly unlikely. A bit more likely is it was in a lab. Now, it could have been a naturally occurring virus. People were studying in the lab and there was an accidental leak. That is more likely. Or it wasn't deliberately designed as a bioweapon, but they were working on gain of function and they caused a virus to become more lethal and then it leaked. A little bit less likely, but still on the possibility range. Most likely, just based on kind of experience, historical data, there was an animal to human jump, that there's a species of animals, probably bats, maybe there's a different intermediary, and humans got infected. The reason I say that's most likely, because again, that's how it usually happens. But here's the bottom line. I don't know the answer. And I would argue that probably no one else does either. I mean, if there was a lab leak, maybe a small number of people do. But I certainly don't. No one else in the United States does. So what do we need to do? And first of all, why is it important? It is important. We want to know where this virus came from. We want to understand it, not just because it helps us manage this one, but prevent future ones. But the other part is we have got to stop politicizing this. Like, my God, at this point, we have managed to take this thing that's a very complicated and important scientific question, and people are talking about it as though, like, if you're a Democrat, you believe one thing, and a Republican, you believe another. I just don't know the right answer. We need to investigate it. We need to push China to give us more cooperation. We need to have the U.S. intelligence and other intelligence agencies investigate it. We really do need to get to the bottom of this. Again, if I were a betting person, I'd say it probably came from an animal, but we're not making bets here. We should actually sort it out.